In a previous recording, as you know, I came from, if you watched it, I came from down there in one of those houses. And hey, it is a steepish climb. There you have some more houses, and this is where you have the castle. That's not the end or start. That's I don't even think it's the middle. But anyway, goes for a long way. And we come along here, and you can see out into the valleys. Snowed last night up in the hills, mountains, whatever you call them, all the way around there. As you can see, hopefully my recording's okay, the castle is built onto, of course, built onto something, onto the top of the mountain and into the mountain, making it strong. As you see here, they're protecting it from falling on my head. Right, these fantastic roads, they might look basic, but actually they're very hard wearing. This was built in the 1960s, and it gets cold here and very hot. So the movement of a typical road, if it gets too cold, too hot, it just moves. So that easily gets ruined. Whereas this, it's been down since the 1960s, if not before. Here you see a house that's in ruins. And in ruins, unfortunately today, because of a few reasons, and that could be because of the cost of rebuilding due to UNESCO's rules and regulations, because the whole top town here is ruled by UNESCO building regulations, which means you have to build as it was, and that's a tremendous cost. Also, families were taken away from their houses in the communist regime, and other peoples, of course, moved in. But once you had that fall in 1991, then people wanted their property back. And thirdly, you have a mosque here a couple of mosques they own, or did own, many areas, who are trying to get their property back as well. And these things going bit by bit through court cases, because they are not dictatorial. But I hear from the municipality mayor that he's been telling them, get on with it, otherwise we'll take over the buildings, because we don't want dilapidated buildings. We want places where people can live in. As you can see, it's one of the old streets. It's again right at the top, and a resident looking for some food, not here, and two more residents. Look, wonderful. Hi guys. 3. Wow, I've only seen 2 before here. This one looks a lot smaller. Is it a younger one or? 4, there's another one, amazing. This one's a horse, though, by the looks of it. Is it a horse? I know these are asses, and I think, with my trained eye, that's a horse. Oh, he's coming to meet me. You're going to give me a lift because it's uphill now. Anyway, on the way. there's obviously a lot of erosion, and these guys are fixing part of that. You wouldn't want that crumbling. This is part of it, and you see a walkway. I'm guessing this is quite new, because there's no way that, say, they built a fort that high, or a castle that high and really inaccessible, to then build a welcome mat. So I'm guessing this come at later time. This castle, I think, is from the 12th century, 13th century, and used until, I think, the late 70s or early 80s, where enemies of the regime were imprisoned and tortured. But once you're up there and you get on top of those ramparts, what a view you have down these valleys. Absolutely amazing. It's brilliant here, but wow, from that castle. So I wonder what it's like from those mountains. Gosh. Beautiful flowers. You can't stop nature. All powerful. Nature is all powerful. We think we are. We might destroy ourselves, etc., etc., and all that, but nature is here. And it will win over eventually. So, going up here, you then turn left at the top, go up a similar road to that, and a similar distance, and then you come to the entrance. But that, of course, isn't the start of the castle. I've been to many castles in different parts of the world, and they all fascinate in one way or another. But this is probably I don't know if dramatic's the right word, but for me it's quite dramatic the way it is formed in this part of the world, and overlooking. Quite obviously, height dominates. This is your power. You can take my houses down here, but you can't take this castle, and I will come down and I will beat you with a big stick. So it goes a little bit on from that, would you call it a keep, and goes around more. What a castle. And another pathway up there. I imagine if an army was running up there, to surprise them, by the time they get near there, they'll be absolutely done for. I'm not attacking today, boss. I need to rest. And now we're getting into the old part of town, the centre, where the bazaar is. Let's see if I can go and see a little bit from here. And I can see another derelict house. And this house they're building here, that will be quite modern. Built before UNESCO came along, because they then don't have to follow the rules, because that house wasn't built then. And you can see it's been tastefully done. Nice. All these homes that have stone roofs, they are stone from the gorge I went through, and they are very heavy and very durable. But of course you've got to make then your wooden structure very strong, and they do collapse after quite some time. But that's one of the things protecting this town. Is it's very unique that they have stones as as roofs. It's fantastic, but it must be very, very. You must be skilled to make these things. Brilliant. You see that? Up there somewhere they have an aeroplane, and I can just see it. I don't know if you can, but I can see the cockpit and the bit of the wing. That was shot down somewhere in Albania, and it's an old American plane, probably 50s, early 60s. But they still proudly show it. And look at some of these fantastic rugs. They are 100 years plus old. Not all of them, I'm sure, but a lot of them are gone from generation to generation. You can now buy a dog. The mule is not bothered by you, dog. And before we see the carnage, I will let go. No, he's given up, skulking away. Not scared by you, little doggy.